So let's talk about our brave new world. So whose world is it? It's our world. And it starts with us. So I want to start with the room. There's some amazing friends like Vivian Redding and so many others. And what I want to start with is, I had the honor in the United States to be the top cyber official of the U.S. government across all the cyber centers in intelligence, military, and civilian government. Very interesting job for a guy from Silicon Valley. 2 weeks ago, I hosted a dinner of top leaders that I know in D.C. These were people that were either the number one person in the largest cyber centers in the U.S. government or second-level C-level execs, top people. The conversation was to talk about what's going on in our world. And these were tremendously brilliant people, and also they were friends, 7 of us in total. And there were some shocking conclusions that came out of that. But I don't want to go there yet. I want to go to the end of the dinner, because we're towards the end of our day. And at the end of the dinner, I like to ask people, what's your one word? What's your one word of how you feel about the conversation we had, or today? So I asked the group, what's your one word? And the words were amazing, relieved, inspired, connected. I mean, these people were just so thrilled. And what I was surprised to learn that 6 out of the 7 of us, that was the first dinner we'd had like that since COVID hit. And it was just such an unbelievable relief. So this is 2 weeks ago in D.C. So I'd like to do the same exercise here. So think of one word. We're going to go around quickly. Vivian, you're always a leader. We're going to start with you. What's your one word? How do you feel about today?
Happy.
Happy? Okay. Jennifer.
Connected. That was my word. Inspired.
Happy. Daunted.
And if you want to be in, come from the back rows forward, because keep going, Fabian. Keep moving quickly. And if you want to be in, come back down.
Re-socialized.
Re-socialized. All right. That's good.
Fantasy.
Fantasy. Right.
Energized.
Energized.
Expanded.
Thinking.
Curious.
Optimistic.
Excited state. Excited state.
I guess that's one word. There's a hyphen in it. Go ahead.
Back.
Back. All right. Great.
Just at the beginning.
I'm joining the optimists. Optimistic.
All right. Let's do the next row, please.
Resocialized.
Curious.
Inspired.
Yeah, inspired too.
Mesmerized.
Mesmerized. Beautiful. Okay, let's take 2 more.
Powerful. Re-energized.
Wow. Steffi and DLD
Positive.
team, please listen to that. Listen to that. This is the feedback on your day.
But you all inspired me.
Absolutely.
You are the one who gave
So let's
me
give a
this
hand
energy.
for the audience
Yeah,
today
for the
and all the contributors.
It's energy vice versa.
Absolutely. So now I want to bring it back to our brave new world. And I want to present to you a concept, maybe right, maybe wrong, but I want to be very provocative, but I absolutely believe in what I'm saying. And I'm going to make it a personal story. When I was 2.5 years old, I had a day that I didn't know if I was going to survive at the hands of my father. And from that day forward, there was never a day in my life that I didn't fear for my family members. Not a day. And those, traumatic experiences really shaped me in such a powerful way. But I drove forward in life as a warrior, drove forward in business and all the different things I do. And now I had the thrill, started a company when I was 24, and when I was 34, we took it public. And I was chairman, I was CEO, I was the original founder or co-founder. I mean, it was thrilling, right? All the things you want to have. Made more money than I ever thought I would make. But I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. And I realized that I had never let go of those experiences that so much shaped my life. And so I decided to do something about it. And it worked. And it worked. And it was the hardest work I ever did. Because if you want to release trauma, you have to go into the depth of the worst emotional experiences of what you went through. And you have to feel it. You have to be completely vulnerable. You have to completely feel it. And then you have to rewrite the memory, rewrite the interpretation of what happened. And you can do it. And it changed my life. I'm now one of the happier, probably most peaceful people you will ever meet because that happened in my life. And it did happen, and then soon I developed a meditation practice, and I'm a very spiritual person. But what I'm telling you is COVID has shocked the world, and the world is in trauma, and people are suffering. We're lucky. We're in tech and media, two of the biggest beneficiaries of what's gone on, okay? But there's a lot of sectors that are losing. And you know, we had from Lufthansa today, Christina, you know, quick data. U.S. airline industry, 2019, 149 incidents reported in the entire year, okay, passenger incidents. This year, I looked at the data today, 3,200 incidents already. Now, it's not more flights, there's less flights. It's not different people, the same people are flying. It's the same staff. What's different? What's different is people are traumatized, people are shocked, and they're acting out. And I want to propose that in the history of mankind and society, what we've seen is waves where we go through collective trauma, whether that's a 9/11 or a world war or whatever the incident is. But we're experiencing that right now, and it's shaping the world we're in, and it's not going to go away unless we heal it. So I want to refer back to some of the many great presentations today, not just yours, Jennifer, but also Gabriella, who brought up explicitly, it's a time for us to be kind and decent to other people. But what I want to propose to you is that may be where the world is, but there's a lot that we can do about it. And it starts with us individually. And I think most people I know have been shocked or disturbed somehow. Let me ask a question. How many people have children that have been at home or children that have been infected by COVID? How did they react? Or how was it for them? So-so? Mixed? I know a lot of families, you know, that have really suffered. But so the good news is, and the technology I want to share with you today is, wherever there's trauma, healing is possible. And if the healing's not done through some kind of process, then that trauma stays embedded in the person or in the social structure or in the organization. And it will be manifest. And that's why we're seeing around the world today, wars are breaking out, riots in the street. Particularly in my country, imagine a mob taking on the Capitol building to overturn a democratic election to fight for democracy. Okay? But they believed in this. But the riots are happening on the left and on the right. But you're seeing a string of wars all across the world, Africa, Middle East, broader Middle East, Asia, and so the world's traumatized. And so what we can do as leaders, because every one of you, because we're all the leader of something. We're all the leader of ourselves. No one else can choose to reinterpret the events of our own life besides us. So we're all the leader of our own life. We're all participants in a family, participants in a community, and participants in the broader world. But so what I submit is, this is the mega theme of what's going on. And we can't ignore it. And one of the conclusions that came out of the dinner was shocking to me. So I came up with an observation. I made a proposal to the dinner table. And I said, given all the developments, the cyber wars that are going on right now, the on-the-ground conflicts, the tensions that are building, whether it's over the South China Sea or hacking between Eastern Europe, Western Europe, and USA, as I said, I believe that we may be in the most dangerous time on the planet since the Cuban Missile Crisis. And you know what the group said? No. No, Rod, you're wrong. It's the most dangerous time since World War II. Now, these are national security people. They do look at the problems in the world. They do look at the underside of what's going on, but they absolutely believed it to a person. One of them had actually been in the U.S. military when the Cuban Missile Crisis happened and was an expert on the topic. And let's hope that that's not true. Okay, let's hope that that's not true. But one of the other things I'll tell you is they said there's never been a time in American history that America needs Europe more than now. And it may be that Europe needs America more than ever. But I want to bring it back to the key topic of trauma. That's one assessment of the world, could be right or wrong. But what we know is people are suffering, and it is our opportunity to lead. And so, in closing, I want to make sure we close today in appreciation. And so I would like us to ask Steffi, can you come up here? Steffi, and how about the DLD staff? You can just come to the rails. Not everyone can come out, but come on out here. And let's have a few words in the audience. How do you feel about the DLD team today?
No.
So let's give them a hand.
Ah, wow.